Staying in Rivers State, where the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, solidified his position in the People's Democratic Party leadership crisis as the National Working Committee endorsed the Rivers State Congresses. Wike's loyalists within the PDP and WC not only secured the approval, but also postponed the National Executive Committee meeting originally set for September 26 to October 24, which could have overturned the decision. The PDP NWC, led by acting National Chairman Umar Damagum, made this decision during a meeting at the party's national headquarters, Wadata Plaza in Abuja. The NWC meeting had been delayed for the past 3 weeks amid rising tension within the party, especially between former Rivers State Governor Wike and the PDP Governors Forum over the status of Rivers State party congresses. Now, joining us to discuss this is a political analyst, Andy Akpotive, and he will be helping us to dissect this better. Thank you so much, Mr. Akpotive, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Good evening.
So how does the decision of the PDP's National Working Committee to give Nyesom Wike more control affect the international or the internal governance structure of the party?
Absolutely. It is, I want to borrow the words of the one we like to call the Godomigodo of Edo State politics. Indeed, it is shameful and it is lugubrious. How that for the first time, I think, and I'd like that you correct me if I'm wrong, we are seeing how that the governor of a state that is a part of a political party has totally no control over the infrastructure or over what you call the structures of the state. It speaks to the fact that the PDP as a political party is no longer interested in following after her protocols, following after the dictates of our constitution, following after, the things that had been established as what was the standard even before now. How is it that a governor is sitting and, if you may, we see here there is a faction of the management of PDP, quote and unquote, that have endorsed this. There is a faction, right? So we are waiting to see that indeed this is bigger than the faction. That is the management, the entirety of the management of PDP that gave this authority to Wike as against giving the authority to the man who is representing their political party as a governor in Rivers State, right? So for me, as a person, as a political watcher, someone who has been actively involved in this political space for at least the last 15 to 20 years, these are very strange times in Nigerian politics. Very strange times. I must confess. How that a governor has no say. If you had noticed, Fubara had said once upon a time, he said to his supporters, "Don't worry, they are going to change whatever it is that they have said that they are going to do. Don't worry, let's trash it. Nothing is going to come out of it." But Wike keeps getting his way. Wike, the former governor, keeps getting his way with the political party PDP, even though he is representing APC in an APC government. Mark my word, is representing APC in an APC government. You are giving him the infrastructure. You are giving him the total control of the structure of his state. Indeed, it represents very strange times in Nigerian politics.
So don't you think these would actually, of course, cause something negative or bring about negative consequences for the party in upcoming elections, both at the state and at the national level? Because this is one man that has been accused of anti-party activities and, just as you've said, working for the other party, and we have an NWC that seems to be supporting him.
Yeah, most definitely, because politics is essentially about, and I have defined structure severally. Those who know Andy Akpotive understand that structure in the context of Nigerian politics is the amount of money you have that you can use to win votes and the amount of violence that you can deploy on election day. Those are the two things that equal structure. So in the minds of the administrators of PDP, mark my use of that word, I don't want to say the neck because there are still a few people there who are not representing what the party actually has said should be. How do you have somebody who is still in acting capacity and you have not addressed that issue? How is Damagum still the chairman of PDP? It beats me hollow. And I do not understand why those who are in the, who are the embodiment of PDP, as it were, who once upon a time were people who you can regard as people big enough to be bigger than even the BOT, and they are still in the party and they are allowing these things to happen. Now, it is as a result of this and the fact that Damagum understands that politics, essentially, winning structure is about, or structure in politics is about the amount of money you have and the amount of violence you can deploy. That's why you see that they are still throwing their weight behind Wike. I have said consistently, on air, on radio, and on TV to say what the governor must do now is that he must begin to show to everybody that he's in charge. He has not asserted himself as a governor in Rivers State. So do you wonder why the management of PDP still keeps giving, all of the 9 cities that they're supposed to be due in to Wike? Do you wonder? He has to now start asserting himself. He has to prove himself as one who is strong enough to be able to wield the kind of control that Wike wielded when he was sitting in that same position. We have said consistently that until you are able to do this, you will just be crying because they understand who can win elections for them the Nigeria way. The Nigeria way, the only person who can win elections is the person who is able to, throw a lot of money to ensure that whatever he says is what becomes. Deploy a lot of people into, the different political systems to ensure that whatever he wants is whatever becomes. And
so,
this is what Wike has continued to.
Yeah, so, Mr. Akpotive, basically what you're saying is that the leadership of the party in some way are cowards and lack the integrity to actually drive the plans and agenda of the party. Is that what you mean?
I may not say that exactly, but how do you explain that Wike keeps getting his way in this political equation? In the first instance, the former governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, is no longer the governor of Rivers State. And that's what Nigerians do not understand. He's no longer the governor of Rivers State. He is a minister in the APC government.
Okay.
A minister in the APC government. Why do you think that he keeps getting his way in PDP? One of two things would have happened. It's either that the management of PDP, as it were, has come to accept that PDP is dead and gone. That's the first thing. PDP is dead and completely gone. So they want to collapse the PDP into the APC infrastructure, or that they believe that Wike indeed is PDP. Otherwise, how do you do this thing to a sitting governor? One who is supposed to be representing your political party in Rivers State. You are taking the infrastructure, you are taking the structure, you are taking everything away from him to give to somebody who is not the current or the sitting governor. Indeed, there's no better way to define preposterous. There's no better way to define what is not the standard than what has just been done, by the management of PDP.
All right, one would have thought that the PDP governors will be able to put their weight against him, but then we don't see that playing out. Mr. Andy Akpotive, it was nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.